Sure. You got this?
11:30. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Before we take off on our committee meeting, some time ago, Teresa West came before us and asked us to approve an additional person in their office for the purpose of collections of unpaid fines. And we approved that, and we asked Teresa to keep us updated on the progress on that. So Teresa, give us an update.
Okay, we have a total of 2,217 people on slow pay that we're monitoring, and we have them come in quarterly and make sure that they're making their payments. So every day we're adding to that. So we have made a total from February to May. We made a total of unpaid cost of $75,311.06. And that cost is in addition to all the other costs that we have. That's in addition to what? This is money that we would have never seen.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Teresa? Anybody? Looks like that's going to be a very productive program for us.
You say that's $75,000 of income that you don't think we would have received? Is that what you're saying?
We wouldn't. In this cost collection, if we appointed a cost collection clerk, we can collect 50% to defray the cost of it. And so this is the money that defrays the cost of it. This is other like state monies and stuff.
Those monies, the $75,000 would have gone to the state or some other jurisdiction if you hadn't done this, or would not have been collected.
Not have been collected.
Yeah, most of it would not.
I have a question. The monies that you're currently collecting and then you're keeping half, if you weren't doing it, who would the state have doing collections for them in Hamilton County?
Nobody.
So it wouldn't get collected.
No, you can hire an outside collection agency, and they get 40% flat fee.
But that would have been the clerk, not the state, that would do that, if that's the option.
Oh yeah, it would be the clerk.
So
And
it's still
the
counted.
state does not allow you to collect above and beyond what the cost of the collection costs you.
Not yet. I'm hoping.
So there's no incentive for you to work harder, the way the state's currently got their law set up.
Even though we are collecting, we get to collect that to defray the cost, we still are collecting 100% of our clerk's fees.
Correct.
And so we're getting, this is a low figure, because this is all that, unless I want to go back on every case and figure out how much we collected on those. This is what's put into the cost collection line. And your question was?
You're correct. You're correct. There is no one, because basically what county audit is telling Teresa is you can't collect more than what your costs are. And so there's no incentive to collect more than what it costs to pay her people and the other costs involved. And that's the rub in this whole thing. But she's able to.
And that's why I was asking.
So Chris has asked for an Attorney General's opinion on it.
Okay.
And he did that, what, 2 months ago or so?
Probably about 2 months or so ago, we requested, sent letters to your predecessor and to Senator Sutherland requesting that they ask of the Attorney General whether the previous interpretations of the statute continue to hold, which is that we can only collect the amount that it costs us to recover that, rather than the flat 40 or 50%. It says 50%, but they're saying that only is actual cost that we're allowed to recover. We would like to be able to recover a flat 50%. An outside collection agency can collect 40% without question of anything. You would think that our own county officer would be able to collect 50% flat without having to show, oh, here's where I've reimbursed, we've reimbursed ourselves for this particular expense of collection.
Has he submitted his opinion? The Attorney General?
We have not, I don't know the status of that. As far as I know, we are required to request of our representative and senator that they ask the Attorney General for the opinion. So as far as where that stands, Mr. Miller and Mr. Sutherland have that in their court right now.
Any other questions, Teresa?
Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Item on the calendar. Jail Study Committee, Chair Lady Phillips, you are recognized.
Thanks, sir. Do we have any visitors? I see none on old business, the TCI County Correction Partnership Initiative. Bill, where do we?
Bob Bass is the representative from TCI who runs the CCP program. He couldn't be here this month, but I did receive an email from him Friday that he is working on some dates in September. So he would like to meet with the Jail Study Committee in September. We may have to do it outside of our committee day. But he did say, I did ask him, all right, in the meantime, you know, what can we do? He said, basically, we're doing what we need to do. Said that his jail inspector has spent about, and I confirmed this with Teresa Laws this morning, that the jail inspector has spent some time, about 9 hours, one full day, with the jail administration, and they've implemented some new procedures and that kind of thing. And Teresa's saying they're doing what they can do as far as the recommendations from TCI. So we should have a meeting in September with Bob Bass of TCI.
And I guess we'll get something from Karen like we always do.
Yes.
And the next is the jail inmate labor usage agreement, and this is between the city and the county, is this correct?
Correct. The city of Morristown wants to, well, let me back up. One of their initiatives for the new fiscal year is to clean up the city, and that was a response that they got from a services survey that the city did last fiscal year. And so one of the things they want to do is form some work crews using county inmates. And so in working with the sheriff and the city administration, we put together this inmate labor agreement. All the terms, the sheriff is on board with this. The city administrations and the police department are on board with all the provisions in this agreement. Chris has reviewed it, city attorney's reviewed it, so I'll bring it to you with a recommendation.
Is that all volunteer?
As far as the inmates,
Yeah.
yes, they get 2 for 1.
They can't be forced to do
No,
that.
you
No,
cannot
no.
force, no matter what work program or anything they have, you can't force them. If they say no, they can stay.
I move we do it, Madam Chairman.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion?
I just have a question. I don't know if anyone here can answer it or not, but the number of inmates that qualify to do cleanup, because we currently don't working out in the county anyway.
Yes.
Is that going to take from the county in order to clean the city? Are there enough to go
There
around?
are usually
that would
enough, like you've
qualify
got
for
your
the
can
2
wagon.
program?
Okay, you've got your can wagon usually goes up, but you also have inmates left in the workhouse that are just there.
And
So there's
there's,
enough. to cover.
well, and they're gonna have to use, on many days, there aren't enough males. Okay, there are not, so they're gonna have to use females, which is a plus, because there's not enough 2 for 1 opportunities for females. And in the agreement, in the rules that the city is accepting, we address that purposefully, because the city has a male supervisor, but he may have to use female inmates, and so we address that.
And to my knowledge, this is the first agreement like this we've ever had that addressed females. Yeah.
Can I pose a question, even though I'm not part of it?
Yes, ma'am.
If one of those gets hurt, who has to bear the responsibility?
They do, that's what the
It's in the
agreement
agreement.
talks about, like the medical, the attorney fees, all that. So that's in the agreement. Any further discussion?
Medical liability and property.
Is all,
All.
if not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. The next bit of information is just for informational purposes only. It's about our GED program, so that completes our report.
Thank you, Arlene. Next item on the calendar, Finance Committee. Chairman Jarvis, you are recognized.
Call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Does anyone wish to address the committee?
I do. My name is Gwendolyn Holden. Please. I'd like to talk about, I have spoken to the city council and to the commission before about sewer odors. This is about the Whitesburg sewer thing that y'all gonna be talking about, the contract. And where that the fees are also doubled. And I'm going to talk about, I want to know if y'all are going to talk about a city-county contract for the proposed Whitesburg sewer extension today. Do you plan on doing that?
I think
It's on the agenda.
Okay. Then I talked to the county commission, I talked to my county commissioner. He's not here today. Mr. Ricky Eldridge. I don't know why he's not.
His mother-in-law is born to death.
Oh, okay, then I see, and I understand that, okay. So I talked to him, and he explained to me that the county was promoting to paying a minimum sewer payment to the city if the number of Whitesburg customers fell below 20 people. So my question is, you've never done that for anyone before, and I want to know how the county funds to pay sewer fees to the city like that. I want to know that. I mean, you've never done it for anyone before, so why are you doing it now? And if you're going to do it for two...
We're going to address that, I think, Lynn, but...
But if you're going to do it for that two, to get the 20, why is it you've not done it for others before?
Here again, I think we're going to address that when we get into it.
And to me, that wouldn't be fair. I'm just asking, and I'll be waiting around to see what your response is, and I thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, first order of business is the review of the monthly checks from the mayor's office. Do you have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion? Got a motion second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval carries. Have no old business. Under new business, we have an engine repair on a garbage truck. Barry, can you talk about that? Nothing in our package about this, was it?
No, there wasn't. I apologize.
Okay.
There's a lot of little details. You'll take one and pass it around, please. There's a lot of little details to it I want to make you aware of before making a decision. Has everybody got both copies? Is that too much work, though? I need to get that in the packet next time.
You know, I can't read it 6 times. Yeah, it is a little heavy. Okay, go right ahead, sir.
We've got a truck engine that we need to either get repaired or get replaced. There are three options. You can try to repair these diesel engines, or you can buy a remanufactured engine, or you can buy a new engine. This truck it's been highlighted on the inventory list. It's a 2005 model. It's an international. This truck's been a nightmare since we've had it. We took the low bid when we got it. We spent a lot of money in terms of electrical issues and otherwise. The engine's gone on. We've got it in the shop. It's got no compression left, so we're going to have to do something with it. You see there, option one, if we try to rebuild that engine, it's going to be somewhere around $21,000 by the time we get to the end of it. you don't know if you're gonna get everything repaired in place when you rebuild an engine. You certainly try to cover all the bases, but you gotta reboard the block and that type of thing. You don't know if it's gonna be right at the end of that. Option two, you got the remanufactured engines you put in there. There, it's gonna be $21,000 when you get to the end of that as well. A new engine's gonna be $40,000 to $50,000. We get international engine that they put on the shelf back in 2005, so they have replacement engines. That's gonna be $50,000. It's gonna be about 3 months' time before we can get it. They have to order it. Or you can look at the option to buy a new truck. We got the garbage truck bids coming up here in just a few minutes. And so I wanted to put all that out there and have you, because if you got this invoice or this PO or this expense and you've seen the size of it, I know you're gonna be wanting to ask me a few questions. So I'd rather address it now before we take action and make any decision about what to do with it.
Does it make any sense at all to repair it? I think the first thing we need is throw that out.
George Lofton has shot for me. I really think it would be. George, do you think it'd make good sense to try to repair it?
Well, what I'm saying though, I'm talking about the engine, not the truck.
Okay.
If the repair's 21, the reman's 21, that's, to me, not much thinking.
Right.
The engine that's in the truck now,
Yeah.
I sent it up to a shop, last year, Good Pasture, that's the name of the shop. They done a compression check on it last year, and which I approached Barry about it, we talked about rebuilding the engine then.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to, their suggestion was because the engine was so ragged out, and why I say that is, that's a 2005 engine, the emission system and all that stuff that they put in them then, they was just getting that started with EPA and all that stuff. Well, the turbo and all that stuff has a big part in that engine maintaining the compression and keeping it running good. Well, when all that, the emission system and all that stuff stayed clogged up on it, that pulled a lot of compression on the engine, which in turn made the engine wire hole. It's kind of like putting your hand over your mouth and running up the hills harder. So they tried to correct that, but they couldn't because of the standards, the way they put the engine together. They would have to redo the whole engine to make it compatible with the 2008, 2009. Well, if you do that, then it was going to cost you as much as a new engine to start with. And then you'd have to change stuff on the truck itself to make that truck capable of running that kind of engine. So actually, right now, the engine in the truck, it wouldn't be my suggestion. Plus, I've checked with a couple of other shops that do this, and they wouldn't suggest repairing this engine that's in this truck.
That's what I'm saying, you know, at the end of the day, it's 21,000 repaired, 21 for a reman, and that's got what's on the reman?
The
Is it
2-year
total?
The reman engine is a complete engine.
Okay.
It's 2 years.
With the turbo and everything's there?
Yeah,
Okay.
What's the mileage on this vehicle?
just right over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
So it really should have lasted a lot longer.
Now, let me ask you this. This vehicle, say we take option 2, or just for an example, if we took option 2 and restore this vehicle, is this a vehicle that's used every day, or is it a vehicle that's a backup?
It's a backup because we're about to get a new truck in, and when we do, that'll be put in the regular route, and it'll be a backup. If you see that inventory there, we've got 8 2013 in the regular routes and 3 2008s. And this is one of our regular vehicles, or was, until this happened, so we were dependent on it. Now, whatever we do with it, once we award the bid and the new truck comes in, it'll be a backup.
How long is that till the new truck comes in?
90 days, I think, is what they specified on their bid.
So do you still have garbage on that truck?
Yes. It's sitting over there at the shop with garbage on it because it just died in the middle of the road, didn't it, George?
Yeah, and you've got to have the engine running to operate the hydraulics to be able to get all that off of it.
What are you gonna do? I mean, 90 days with garbage, I guess there'll be maggots going everywhere, huh?
They're already there.
What do you recommend, Barry?
I think as much trouble as this vehicle's been, as much as we've already spent on it, throw another $21,000 at it, it's just throwing good money after bad. I mean, that would be the ideal, situation to me, is to go ahead and get another vehicle. We're gonna keep throwing money into it for electrical issues, because unless you put a new wiring harness in it, and completely redo that, which would cost quite a bit, it's gonna keep giving us problems. These internationals, that company's been slower about responding to the emissions that's been put out by the federal government than any other company. And they didn't handle it as good as the other companies either with that, so.
Now, the one that we're bidding on later today, which one is it replacing?
It'll replace that one, that 2005 that's down. See, it was a regular truck in 2005 was.
Okay. So the one we're bidding on is already, okay.
Yeah, we
You're not
just-
asking us to bid on two?
Right.
Okay.
We just bid on one. And after y'all's approval, we'll award that bid. But it'd be a good time to get another one while we got that price. I think it'd be legal to get another one.
What are you gonna do with this one if we purchase another one?
That one right there, we put it on that website where we sell it. We just identify the need for an engine and sell it.
And you can
Value of
use,
it.
With the garbage?
Could you use that body, the dump, or whatever you call it, on a chassis?
Yes, it's a decent body.
Would that be the way to maybe look at it?
We can sell it off, try to sell it off in parts.
I'm not talking about selling, I'm talking about using.
That body can be used, but what do you?
The body that's on it now can't go on the freight line.
Yeah. So we'd have to find something that the body would fit on. That's why I want to talk to you about it, though. It gets complicated and hard.
Mayor, if we bought a new one, what'd be the procedure?
Barry, do you have any idea what it would bring? Just low ball it.
No, I don't. Have you got any feel for it, Joe?
No, not at this point, as far as the body and the chassis, that's where,
Could we get 10?
I think you get every bit of that.
Is that the scrapyard?
The scrapyard does the chassis.
We got about
I know what it weighs.
We got about $4,000 for what we take out there last. It was a garbage truck because we tried to sell it was going to be fuel, so
To the crusher.
yes.
So you'd use any proceeds from selling it to offset the cost of the new one?
All right, let me ask you this. Do you have two backups?
We've got those first three on the list, the 1989, 1996, and 1996. There's three backups, but they're real old. I mean, we just use them when we absolutely have to. And then
I guess I'm asking,
we do have that 2001 Hive.
since this was gonna be a backup, once the new trucks come in, would we be wise to wait and see what we, I kinda agree with you. Spending $21,000, $40,000 on that vehicle with over 100,000 miles on it. Look at what a new one would cost. I mean, it just don't look like it's the right thing to do.
We spent $111,000 on maintenance and repair of these garbage trucks last year. If we get a new one, we got 3 years of warranty. We don't have to spend nothing on it for the most part, most likely.
Did any of this occur prior to that 3 years on the international?
Any of what occurred?
Problems?
Oh, gosh.
Well, did they pay for that?
No, once it's out of that 3-year warranty.
No, I'm saying, did any of it occur prior to the warranty expiring?
Not that I'm aware of.
We had no problems with it for 3 years. You've had problems with it the last 2 years.
From 2005 to 2008, yeah, we had problems with it.
And
But
they fixed it.
they had to fix it. Y'all don't know the nightmare with